Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command, World War II World at War with our Axis playthrough. In the last episode, we finished up this turn of November 21st, and it's time to hit end turn and see what the results over our actions for the past few episodes have been, really. Loss of the Philippines reduces US morale, so it has fallen. Japan celebrates the surrender of the Philippines. We're going to see our morale shoot up. DEI surrenders. Plunders 250 MPPs from that. Yeah, that might roughly make up for what we didn't get that whole time we lacked the convoy. We plundered 51 from the Philippines. Germany has, let's see, there is a potential threat of an amphibious invasion from the Western Allies along the northern coast of France. It is therefore recommended that we strengthen our defenses by constructing static coastal gun batteries near Brest, Le Havre, and Calais. These batteries could prove crucial in repelling any invasion, as they are armed with formidable naval guns that will automatically attempt to engage enemy amphibious units that attempt to land. Construction will cost 150 MPPs at 50 per turn for 3 turns. Would you like to authorize the construction of these coastal gun batteries as part of our Atlantic Wall? Although expensive, the construction of these coastal gun batteries will significantly strengthen our defenses and could potentially delay the enemy's invasion preparation. So that is a good reason to say yes to this. Ensure that they are protected from air attack and that mobile forces remain nearby to counterattack enemy landings. Any units currently occupying the hexes where the guns will be deployed will be moved out, and the guns will deploy in the next turn. Units may temporarily disappear, but they will be returned. Okay, so 150 MPPs, 50 per turn for 3 turns, which is not a lot for Germany, to construct guns near Le Havre, near Calais? Where the hell is Calais? You see a Calais? I see a Cherbourg, Brest, St. Malo, Amiens, Lille, Lily. I don't see these other places that they're talking about, but yeah, I think this is a good idea. I specifically had Germany take this over because I wanted them to be able to do this, just in case my plans didn't go according to plan. So I'm gonna hit yes to that, of course. Sarawak surrenders. I didn't even go to Sarawak. What? Dominican Republic joins the Allies. Okay. General MacArthur arrives in Australia. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Dutch troops destroy vital installations before surrendering. Well, fuck you, Dutch. Ugh. My money. My ports. Allied raiders disrupt Philippines-Japan convoys. Yeah, they got ships literally right there. Axum hit by rough seas. The air ace Adolf Galland is appointed by the Luftwaffe's Inspector of Fighters. Is appointed the Inspector of Fighters. Okay. Developed ASW Level 1, we did that. And Logistics Level 2 for Germany. Okay, so their ships never came through here. Alright. Interesting. Anti-air coverage for the Atlantic Wall. That makes sense. I didn't really think about that, but that makes sense. Oh, that was just the resolution of my turn. That wasn't even their turn. Oh my, there's more. Oh, I didn't realize that. That just took so long. I did. Okay. There's a fucking carrier right there. Right there, bro. And it's bombing over and over, meaning it can't run. Like, maybe it can run a little bit, because it bombed twice, I think, instead of 3 times. But generally speaking, that bitch has to stay there. And their destroyer army is moving up on us and making us die from attack repeatedly. Hey, they took 2 damage there. We haven't taken any damage yet. Their ASW capacity is just terrible. They ran that bomber away. Whew. Oh man, they got a garrison to Rostov. They must have had to operate that in. They're doing a lot of operating. They're doing a lot of operating. I think they're getting their defense around Moscow, but every other endangered place kind of in place as well. That's interesting. I'm curious to see how that affects their lines. China's done some reinforcing here on the communist side. Also for their planes, which are so close to being able to just be attacked by land. Indians are attacking the Turkish forces, no damage. Hello, Canadian. land forces that just got one shot after running into a submarine? Oh my god, that was a whole Canadian unit. That could have been a tank. That could have been a corps, an army. I have no idea, but it's dead. It's fucking dead. I don't think I can check Canadian specific stats to figure out what that was. But that's funny. An American light cruiser has decided to attack my sub. That's not how that works. God, we're just surrounded up here. But there's a fucking carrier. There's another carrier we can sink. They're so aggressive with this ASW. I don't think I was nearly this aggressive. Oh my god, they're bringing so many things, probably by rails, to Moscow. It makes sense. I was expecting it to be a big fight. But that's a lot of MPPs to get all that stuff over there. They even sent someone here, interestingly. And Japan celebrates capture of the DEI. US sends Stillwell to China. Chinese national morale boosted by the arrival of Stillwell. Vinegar Joe Stillwell takes command of Chinese units. And oh my god, he's right there. Dude, I can just attack him like immediately. Fort Moresby prepares for blah 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 blah. Okay, here comes the defenses. Alright, cool. Suez Canal, limit supply. Yeah, whatever. It won't for long. We disrupted Sudan, Egypt, New Zealand, and UK to USSR. Yeah, we couldn't disrupt America to UK because they just went and impeded every single sub that was over there. Without dealing any damage to us, just protecting their lines from raiding. But still, it's quite a bit. 4, 4, 3, 21, 17, 17. The big stuff's coming from UK to USSR. Alright, let's see. There's an American sub in silent mode. They don't want to be captured. Well, spotted. Corps in Reading, Corps in Rangoon. Following our conquest of the DEI, intelligence reports indicate that Portuguese Timor is undefended and could easily be seized by a detachment that is already well positioned to do so. There's a risk that seizing this territory may lead to war with Portugal, but given the situation in Europe and its distance from the Pacific, this is a remote threat. Would you like to give the order for our forces to occupy Portuguese Timor? There's no additional notes for this event. Alright, so I found the event in the strategy guide. If we say yes to this, then we get Japanese Timor, or we get Portuguese Timor. For Japan, Portugal has a 15% chance of immediately joining the Allies, and they will get a half-strength corps at Lisbon. If we take this, we get a port, we get a 5 MPP capital, and the Allies have a 15% chance of receiving Portugal, which is worth more than 5 MPPs just with main Portugal alone, not accounting for any other things they might have, such as down here, Portuguese West Africa. 15% chance is not a lot to worry about, but seeing as I didn't go for a plan that gets Spain to join me, sniping Portugal would not be the easiest task, and I want to focus on the main threats here. That would be the USSR, Egypt, and that's really all that's remaining for the victory I'm going for. So, no, we will not seize Portuguese Timor. I've acquired so many convoys, I'm curious what they provide. I know the DEI isn't going to provide as much anymore. Let's see, oil and rubber to Japan from Batavia. Mobilization, okay. It doesn't tell me how much it provides, but it was providing 75 originally. Everything kind of got sabotaged, so it'll take a while to repair it. Let's see, Thailand's giving us 7. That's nice. Indochina, 11. Okay, and that's at 100%. Sarawak alone is shipping 20. That's crazy, actually. I didn't expect that much. Philippines is shipping iron rubber for 8 MPP, Manchukuo 44. Japan is so dependent on stuff it has overseas. The Chinese stuff doesn't come in a convoy. Strange that Manchukuo does. There's some American planes still left here. There's some American ships still left out here, but oh, this isn't active yet. That's why. That's why it's not providing, like, it's not telling me how much it provides yet. So, status. DEI mobilization, 100%, greater than 5%. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't ship yet. I guess it's just like a temporary debuff, like, hey, we're not going to ship this because of the sabotage. You have to wait until, yeah, the Batavia port needs to have a supply back. So for a couple turns, we won't have anything, but we will eventually get those supplies running. But hey, Sarawak alone, I thought it was just going to count for like, what? Well, I guess this adds up, yeah. 20 MPPs. And it's just resembled through the convoy. And it has oil, so of course it's worth that much. Brunei would be worth 5, whether that goes into a convoy or not a convoy, but taking that would be essential. The first thing I want to do this turn is hunt down that carrier, which was somewhere around here. This is kind of like an all hands on deck kind of thing, so we're going to start with the U-32 sub here. Send it straight up there, and we immediately found it. Nice, I just had to go in a straight fucking line. Now the ones over here would probably be best to deal with it, even though this one still doesn't have any upgrades. They have enough supply. What's yours? 10? 10. Okay. This one's down to 4. Ugh. It needs a chance to go back and get some supply. Let's see if we can function without that one. Let's send the super duper experienced yet not upgraded. Oh my god, wait, look at this. Do naval ships get prepared attacks? Because I'm really tempted to sink the Brooklyn light cruiser just to really stick it to America for sending this up here. I don't know. This carrier is more important. And I really kinda... Dude, even their fucking destroyers can get fucked up by our subs. It is actually a little ridiculous. Fine. Let's get these guys on hunt mode. And they're gonna go for the carrier first. So... only the ability to do 1 damage. That's a little crazy. Each. Well, they're not very experienced. And, oh my... it's super upgraded at this point. Wow, that's going to be worth a lot of money if we sink it. 1 damage dealt. 2 damage dealt. Nice. Okay. Ooh. Ugh. Okay. Probably going to be an all hands on deck thing. For supply or not. This is like the most pressing thing you could be used for, buddy. Get up here. Still only 1. Oh my god, and we didn't actually get any. That is absolutely insane. I could send some subs down here to try to cut off the carrier on its way back. I assume this is the one that came from Scapa Flow. So this time around, we're not doing a whole lot of damage to the courageous carrier. 2 more subs, especially one that's not even upgraded, are not gonna make the difference here, really. Best I can do is position these subs in such a way that they kind of cut off the carrier, hoping that he just runs over one of them and then takes a little bit of extra damage, because I want to take the rest of this and try to sink the Brooklyn light cruiser, because that would be worth more MPPs than maybe 2 more damage on the carrier. So let's try that. 3 damage dealt. Okay. 2 damage dealt. Now, we would have needed more subs for this, but we can move and move. Oh god, I was gonna say nice and well down the line, but I guess they're ready for us. We'll just raid specifically Canada, have them pick between defending their sub or their carrier from subs or coming after these subs right here, because that's the kind of thing it's gonna be. I'm actually gonna put this one back a little bit because I want to give this one more of a chance for an escape route. Definitely seems worth sending subs in this direction because of the nature of this. What is the supply looking like? Very good for everybody here. I think we should maybe... I remember they had like a ship defending over here or something. We want to get more ships kind of in the region. So... let's see... I guess, yeah, we'll move you just right down here. We'll move you... I want to say down, but like not all the way. Oh, hello. There's no way to ensure that we're really going to block off the path to Scapa Flow. There's no way to ensure he's even going to go for Scapa Flow. But we'll try something. I'll put this one here. I'll put this one here. And maybe we can intercept him on the way back to Scapa Flow if that's where he chooses to go. The goal here is just to cut him off. He'll be cut off over here. He'll be cut off all through here and here. If he goes to Scapa Flow, we'll cut him off. If he doesn't go to Scapa Flow, then, well, we'll see. But we'll be closer in range to get more subs to try to deal with him. And we'll have 4 attempted raids on this path. a whole submarine army here to try to cause them a little bit of a headache, as it would appear. Let's look at Italy over in Egypt, I guess. I was gonna say Libya. It's not really Libya anymore. Egypt now. Let's move forward the Coriza Corps here. And we can see what we're going up against. This desert recon's all kinds of fucked up. We have a couple planes stacked up here that are kind of in our way, making this a little more inconvenient than it needs to be, but they're right in the firing line. Firing over this river towards Alexandria is going to be a pain in the butt. There's also a river here we have to worry about. It's going to make all these attacks more complicated than they need to be. The sooner I get rid of all these planes, probably the better. So I guess that will be just my main priority for now. Of course, there is also like the desert recon and things to worry about, to which I can just move up this tank, for example, and say get the area tanks to attack that. 4 damage dealt. And then this core could go for that target as well, but it's not going to be a kill or anything like that. So maybe let's focus on trying to take out these bombers. Because look, 2, 5, theoretically, we would need both of these to kill this bomber. Let's try it. 2 damage dealt, none taken. 5 damage dealt. Enemy tactical bomber wiped out. That's a good national morale bonus for Italy. Italy could definitely use some more morale. And the UK could definitely use some less. Italy has more morale than the UK right now. America's has faltered. Japan's has finally gone over 100%. Oh boy, let me look at that graph real quick. Let's go to national morale. Japan. It was under 100% last turn. And it's just like climbed up suddenly to over 100%. The highest it's been all campaign after taking the DEI and the Philippines. That was just so much, apparently. I can sneak in another unit moving up if I move the 1st Army back. The entrenchment isn't that important. Then I move the 10th Army forward. We could actually blitz attack the 2nd enemy corps here to the same effect as if we had tried a prepared attack, it would appear. There's these bombers that could do something. I might just have them reinforced while we're waiting to clear out maybe these fighters, because they're gonna have to either run away or they're probably gonna be stomped on soon, because there's only corps defending these major cities, meaning no zone of control to contend with. So we could reinforce. That would be an option. We could also just move. I know I'm gonna move the Gazoni HQ forward along the road. We want to keep shifting things this way. May not be the best place for supply. No, it does help. I think it does help a little bit in this region right here. So that would be nice. And then if I reinforce this, I just need to leave someone kind of nearby it. I can move everything else forward. So we'll move the 5th Army forward. We will reinforce the 1st medium bomber. We'll move the 1st Squadra fighters forward. And then we'll have, what's supply here like? It'll be better right here. We'll move into this field with this corps to kind of guard the rear. This hill will prevent some movement in the meantime. And even if they do get up behind the bomber somehow from this direction, we have another corps ready to just like zoom in there and attack whatever actually ran up onto this hill. I don't really feel too bad about risking this, so I'm going to go ahead and risk it. We dealt 2 damage. We took none. That worked out even better than I could have hoped. Enemy corps losing readiness and morale, and now entrenchment as Egypt is slowly lost to the Allies. The Turks may really not even have been needed for this front, but they helped secure Iraq, well, and soon to be Kuwait. They've opened the way to the Caucasus, and shit, I really don't know if they're going to get here in time to do anything. The Turks can go ahead and have the 5th Corps attack Lord Gort here, so they will. 4 damage dealt to that HQ. They repaired the damage from the last turn, meaning they're just wasting their money at this point. Basically just wasting their money. We also have this situation over here. I'm just going to have the 1st Army attack again. 2 damage to the Indians, 1 damage to our army. That's, considering we're fighting a corps, maybe not the best, but, you know, these guys are not fully upgraded. And damage is still damage in this regard. I need to move this forward, but I don't know what I should do with this core. I was tempted to just move it up here and swap out so this gets a chance to recover, but I'm half tempted to just go around so I have someone that can attack from not behind a river. It would be hard to tell what the best idea would be without actually seeing it in front of me. But I think what I'll do is I'll move it. I'll pretend we're not moving up any further. We'll attack with a blitz attack here with the second army, dealing 1 damage, taking none. They're down to half strength from like pretty much, I think it was like almost full strength, so that's some good progress. 3 damage dealt to them. Up front with Lord Gort, we don't have enough supply to really flank around, so we're just going to move the 5th Corps back. We don't need the entrenchment. Move the 1st Corps forward, and ooh, we might lose some. But, I mean, losing 1 in a Corps versus an HQ, yeah, no, the HQ costs way more. We dealt 3, we took none, so that worked out just completely fucking perfectly. We've dealt 7 damage, I believe, to Lord Gort this one singular turn. That is a lot of MPPs to repair damage like that. Turkish front's looking good. I'm going to move the first fighters forward a little bit closer towards where the enemy fighters over here are, because, I don't know, maybe that might be relevant at some point. Looking down in Ethiopia, it would appear that the HQ of Sudan has decided to flee for their lives, so yeah, I wasn't about to move up there. I knew this corps would be here. We're gonna kill this motherfucking HQ. There you go. Dead British HQ. That's some good MPP gains on our part. I'm not sure about pushing up against Malakal. It would be hard to know if that would actually work well. I can at least move forward enough to investigate how strong they are. Not very strong. With the HQ literally right on our asses, it is possible that this could be a functional attack. Let's move forward, assuming we will attack. Move the HQ forward. What does that say for next turn supply? It's decent, I guess. It's not as good as the enemies, but let's go ahead and try a blitz attack, dealing 1 damage, taking none. That's about what it said it would do. That's pretty good. I'll take that. We wipe out the Sudanese Defense Force, which is a corps, and I believe the whole country of Sudan will be defenseless, and this will be their final real offensive unit in this whole theater. If we can wipe this out, we can just go claim Sudan for ourselves, move up, but we won't need to really move up. So I guess more just focus on mopping up African things around here in Ethiopia. The only reason I think this defense worked was because it was against an AI. If this was a player, I don't think defending this would have gone remotely as well, even if it was like a terrible player that has never played the game before. Actually, thinking about that, I say that, but I did once try a PvP of this game. It lasted all of like 4 turns, where I was the Axis versus an allied player, and I took Poland in like 2 turns, and I was already just destroying French units in that time. Like, I was completely messing him up, and he just quit. And so that's why I never actually got a PvP off the ground. This was a long time ago, and it was the first time I ever tried to get into this game, so yeah, that's been a while since that happened. I do have the ability to do some research as Italy. There wasn't really a lot of reinforcement to do this turn, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get infantry warfare. That's 10% more morale once that's researched for basically our whole front line, with the exception of the tanks. The tanks are not being prioritized as much. We have 89 MPPs left. That's not enough for any research, so I guess they're just gonna sit on that. Otherwise, they have 2 subs. This one's just out here guarding here to see if the fleet, the allied fleet that was here, comes through, because I haven't really seen them go past this way, so they must still be here, right? Theoretically. The Leonardo da Vinci, in the meanwhile, will just stay around here. Maybe, like, move across a little bit and just keep raiding. We do have these German heavy cruisers that I was hoping to get into these ports, and I think we can realistically do that now. Saint Nazaire and Bordeaux would probably be good, and the furthest away from any enemy threats. So we'll get those over into port. They can maybe get some ASW upgrades or something, get reinforced, just get up to strength. I want so badly to get them like over here or something, but I haven't maintained enough presence in this region because I've been putting everything into trying to mop up the USSR as quickly as possible. I don't really think there's anything with Finland that I'm going to do this turn. It's not really worth trying to push my way through this core. It's just so entrenched. We don't have the supply to maintain any kind of offensive up here. Just by having them keep an anti-air and 2 cores up here is kind of fine enough. That's a victory enough for me. I can put my MPP somewhere else, like reinforcing the Z2 destroyer, our only remaining destroyer, as the Germans reinforcing that back up to max strength. No pun intended, but Japan has a boatload of MPPs to use this turn compared to what it normally has due to all its plundering, so we're gonna be able to get some good stuff done this turn around, probably. Maybe. I don't believe any of these can really, get close enough up there to use the amphibious attack, so let's just start off with some bombing. Interceptors. Ah, yes, those are still over there. That's right. Escorts. 2 damage to their interceptors, 1 to ours. None to our bombers, another 2 to their fighters. But they're just, you know, desperately maintaining that. Do another bombing, because now we know there's nothing else that's really going to get in our way. And now the rest of this is just straight bombing, so. Any little bit of damage we can do to any little portion of them, even if it's just, you know, readiness damage, it's like the difference between actually needing to reinforce here for a turn or not. So just keep bombing. This is already a pretty ambitious idea, I think, to claim Hawaii. In real life, they just went for Wake, the Japanese. They're like, oh yeah, we don't need Hawaii. We can't hold that. We're just going to take Wake, and that's going to be our forward base. And that was not a good idea. They eventually took it, but it was not a good idea. Continue our bombing. There you go. Continue our bombing. Oh, they're weak enough now in just every way. It's like, oh no, yeah, you're just going to deal damage. Yep, there's some damage. Because we have elite planes here, so they're really good to go. 2 more damage. Holy fuck nugget, motherfucker. Wow, holy shit. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, here's the thing. I can get this special forces over here, do the amphibious attack on this plane, and then land it here, and maybe... Do we control this? No. And then maybe we would be able to still move up and attack. I'm really not sure if a switch would do that, but it would still be like a, maybe a better off unit compared to what would otherwise be there. Getting ready to attack. We could try that. There is also Wake Island to worry about, and it's not like I have dudes just everywhere ready to handle everything. We're also about to like run out of supply on these guys right here, so that could very well be a problem as well, and I can't really get over there right now. So that is going to end up being a situation. We're just going to attack with this for right now. 2 damage dealt. Not enough damage. These Air Force fighters are not going to die nearly fast enough. Someone else is going to have to come pick up the slack here. Not really sure how we're going to do that yet. Let's take these special forces and go over to Wake. There's nobody on Wake. Let's just take Wake. Landing casualties. We lost 1, but we took Wake, which is a major port that is now ours. This was not nearly this easy for the Japanese in real life. They had to take the returning forces from Pearl Harbor and like every other campaign, basically, like bits and pieces, just to take this island in real life. And there was almost nothing of a garrison there. So remember that idea I said with attacking the fighters and then landing? I just tested that out, and yeah, that doesn't work for whatever reason. I can do an amphibious attack and then a landing when I went after this, but a plane? Oh no, apparently that just doesn't work like that. So let's just start by attacking with our special forces, dealing 3 damage, taking 1 damage. This could wipe this out. If it doesn't, I still might be able to get someone over here. 1 damage dealt, none taken. They would be able, with this supply, to reinforce it. I paid like 50, 60 MPPs to get this going. It's probably going to go smoother if I just, say, move this back a touch. Speed this up. Go for a landing right here. And then attack. And then voila! I've killed that special forces, and Honolulu is now mine. One of the ports still belongs to them somehow. But that's fine. We'll just move back over there. So we now have a source of supply on this island. I have 3 special forces on this island. This sped it up a considerable deal, let me just tell you. Because this special forces here would have reinforced to 10. Again, it had 9 supply, and it was only going to go down 1 per turn. And mine was going down 2 per turn. Time was not on my side here. But we pulled it off. Hawaii is mine. Well, Hilo isn't, but Hawaii itself is mine. Wake is mine. Taking Agana here. Agana's going to be the real thing that's causing me problems here, because next turn this is going to hit 0 supply. We might actually lose some strength, like a strength or two, just because of that. We could easily set these guys back out to sea, however, but I'm also probably going to say put these here next. I'll figure that out next turn or episode. These out to sea, and then they could probably clean that up for me, no problem. But that is all we have time for this episode. There's still the main stuff of Japan to do with China, and a lot of the naval movements, getting our special forces moved around. Main USSR fronts still remaining to go. We're just gonna handle all that next time. For now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.